Hello, welcome to my channel. Unfortunately, I don't have the videos for the first two races that I've done. So basically what I do, my current plan is I train for a whole week, and then on Sunday mornings, I go for the race and see if I am improving. Because I'm not going all out every day. I'm trying to build some kind of training plan where I do a little bit of a mix of low, high aerobic, and then some anaerobic mixed in. Let's go through the stages here that I've done. So I started doing this training and cycling in, like I said, beginning of May. So I start exactly with stage 1. I don't know how to say Makuri. I don't know. May. Yeah, I started pretty badly. 9th place. Wait, 1.55. I was really bad when I started. Everything was new to me. I didn't even have the right pedals or nothing. Yeah, I was just learning a lot. So yeah, 155, not too good. 113. Yeah, started with an 80. It was not great, but hey, at least I was not last. That's the way I saw it. So let's just skip straight to the second one. Here I was last. 156, but there was, I believe, 13 people and a whole bunch of them quit, so I wasn't really last place in my defense. But yeah, I definitely ended up 10 minutes behind the first place. A lot of work to do that back then. But yeah, after that I actually started learning a lot. So let's take a look at the third race, which was obviously Makuri stage 3. Let's take a look. So my goal for this race was just not to be last and try to keep a steady pace and don't get influenced by people around me, which is, I think, was what happened on the second race.
Start.
So towards the beginning of the race, I was ahead, and then the two in front passed me. And I was just getting ready for the big climb. I knew that was going to be the biggest hurdle. Right before the climb, I got passed by JB and Tanzola.
Okay. Here we go.
And you can see JB already dropping back.
Behind. JB is dropping off. Oh, he was not expecting this.
Of course, super excited to be passing.
JB, what did you do? Bro, you gotta change gear. You're spinning too fast. We're 5% incline.
So here, unfortunately, I make the big mistake of trying to go too fast.
This is the part that sucks.
Too early with this 10% degree incline and burnout, which unfortunately messes up the entire race till the end, which is 80% of the race.
10%! Okay, hold it.
Unfortunately, it was not all good.
Looks like Howard is dropping a little bit.
So it looks like here
Might be able to catch up.
Howard completely stopped. I don't know what happened with him, but just completely stopped.
Oh!
And of course, excited to be getting another place.
Alright, we're gonna go consistent and pass this guy. See you later, Howard!
At this point, my goal was just to get Saints place, 3rd place. If I get that, I'll be super happy. The rest of the race is pretty quiet. I'm just managing the gap. And right here at the end, I go for a sprint. At this point, I didn't know how to stand up and and cycle, so I was just sitting down and pushing. It was okay. So yeah, I ended up
I
in
didn't think
third
it was that
place,
close.
which was my best result so
I'm
far.
happy.
So we're going into stage 4 here, which was my 4th race. Here I had high expectations. I did 3rd place on the last one. So
Don't let him get into your mind. That's my goal.
exactly, that was my goal. And try to stay ahead with the either breakaway or the group.
I'm not gonna stick with him. I don't care.
Without pushing too much. Now these early breakaways don't always work out, so that's why I was like, okay, let's not go with that. Try to stay with the group.
There you go.
This is a 2-lap race with 7 to 8 miles each, so a pretty long race. My goal really is to stay in draft. Try not to be the lead. I really didn't have the power to be the lead, honestly. I mean, these guys were above my level. So my goal was just to stay in the draft and try to go for something towards the end. So I'm sitting in the back here. I was not very familiar with the track, so my first objective here is to look at go through the first lap and see where the opportunities are. I don't like doing the same race more than once. As you can see the difference here, in the previous race that was just a week before, I was going at 130 watts average, and here in this race, just 1 week later, I was doing 150 watts average. So obviously, very unfit.
I've never been in a lead group before. This is the first time.
And excited to be in the lead group. So right here, I saw this climb, and then right after, there is a descent all the way to the end of the race. And that's where I had this light bulb moment that this could be a good opportunity. As far as I understand, when you're going downhill and you add more power, you don't get the same benefit as if you're on a flat or uphill. So I was like, if this is going to be a downhill section, the best thing to do would be to push on the uphill. Unfortunately, this uphill is a mile away. So there is a long way, and I didn't really know how long I could go for.
I feel like I'm gonna steal.
At this point, it was pretty clear that they just wanted to go for the final sprint. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to create chaos. And so I went for it. I created chaos.
Yeah, is it?
And as you can see behind, they see me and they start pushing as well. At least a couple of them. Now this was a mile away, and I didn't know that I couldn't do a mile sprint. It was my first time trying to do this. It looked like a good idea. One thing I did do very well is I broke the group. As they started sprinting a little bit and then not sprinting, so they didn't know what to do, and the group that they had just broke up.
Oh my god. I'm not gonna make the.
At 0.4, I was cooked. I was pretty much done. I was just trying to use every bit of energy I had left to just finish, get to the end. You can see they're only 4 seconds away, so they're not that far behind me. So ZD right there goes for a small push, and I'm like, okay, I need to speed up a little bit. Not much, but just enough to stay ahead. And there you go. My first victory, even though it's Cat D, it's still a victory. So that was it for my first win It was pretty rough, but it worked. I definitely, one thing that I learned is that I cannot do a whole mile sprint. Seems obvious now, but at the time I was still pretty new to Zwift. But I noticed that I could do like half a mile at a decent pace. But anyway, the strategy did work out. They all just kind of, the group just broke apart. Maybe it doesn't work later down the line, but for category D it did end up working. And I ended up in first place, and that was my first win. So let me know what you think. Obviously, you know, keep in mind this is one of my first races, and even now, just a few weeks later, I've learned so much and I've improved a bit. So you know, there's a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to do better, but it was nice. I mean, winning for the first time, regardless if it's category D or not, is quite fun and gives you more motivation to improve and try to get closer and closer towards category C. So let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.